أول خيوط الفجر وبدء شروق الشمس بزغت حكاية نجاح تتجسد فيها معاني التحدي والإصرار. هي حكاية مدرب لم يعرف قلبه إلا عشق الخيول منذ الطفولة، حينما كانت بدايته لعبة على شكل حصان، وحبا لنوع من الحياة قضاه بين الاسطبلات محاطا بصهيل الخيول ورائحة العشب. وسط تلك التفاصيل ترعرع شغفه وتنامت أحلامه، من طفل مغرم بالخيول إلى مدرب صقلته التجارب، فكانت رحلته امتدادا لحلم طموح كتب فيه كل فصول النجاح والإصرار.
I grew up in Western Sydney, which is a very horse-dense population, but I didn't have any family ties. We lived on, just a quarter acre block. Mum and Dad worked, and yeah, there was no family ties anywhere in horses at all. So it was just one of those things where, as long as I can remember, 3, 4, 5, that I just had somewhat of an obsession with horses. And as I grew older, requesting and asking and wanting a pony, but we never got one. But once I was old enough to learn riding, I went out, and in any spare minute of time I had, I was either riding a horse or I was out the back of our house on a fake horse that we made, and it was just an obsession with horses, from a young age. And once I was old enough to ride track work, I started riding track work at a race course, at Hawkesbury Race Course, which was nearby, and rode there for a French trainer called Philippe Vigoureau, who was a great mentor for me as a young rider. He was a trainer with an unbelievable work ethic and a great horseman, which really sort of stepped me on the right direction. And from there, not having family ties, I knew that I had to look for advantages of where I can, so I just studied anything I could get my hands on in regards to equines. From there I moved to Randwick Racecourse, where I started riding for a number of trainers there. And after I finished riding track work, I got to an age where I felt that I'd accomplished a lot in riding the horses, and I really wanted to go to that, continue to learn. So I went and became a steward for Racing New South Wales. So I had the opportunity to sit on both sides of the fence of the racing industry. And after I went from there, I went and studied in equine science and equine acupuncture to give me a nice balance of the Eastern and Western medicine. And back from there, went to Sydney, became a foreman for a major stable in Sydney before taking out my own licence as a trainer. Starting off training, I had one horse for my first 12 months, a very cheap horse, only worth, purchased for a couple of $1,000. It was a very hard way to start. Only a couple of horses in year 2, and just gradually built and just treated every horse as that came into the stable to get the greatest out of every horse, and treated them all like Group 1 horses. And slowly, with elbow grease, we managed to build our brand, and within a number of years, the year before I came to Dubai, we finished in Australia with Australia's leading strike rate for winners. Well, I think when you're young, you've got to have you've got to be a little bit delusional in yourself and in your dream, and you've got to believe in yourself, because no one else is. So it was very, very hard. You've got kicking off, you've got maxed out credit cards. You're needing to pay for the horse's feed before yourselves. There was many nights where we slept in the cars because you'd go to the races and you wouldn't, you didn't have enough petrol to get back home to get to the stables the next day. So it was challenging, but it made you appreciate, how grateful I am for the opportunity I've got now here in Dubai, and how far we've come. And it'd be a struggle to do all that again, but I think it made me a better trainer as well, because you're really looking for, all the 1%ers. Every win is so crucial, and you really appreciate everything that comes your way.
لا يكتب النجاح بيد واحدة، بل يتطلب عزيمة تعززها أيد أخرى تمتد بالدعم والوفاء.
All good?
Yeah.
All right?
Michael, so tongue tie malhoof,
Yes.
earmuffs and shadow roll for Alsace.
Just shadow roll.
Just shadow roll. Okay.
The small one. The small one, not the big fluffy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow roll and tongue tie.
Yeah.
Who for? For
Malhoof tongue tie.
just malhoof tongue tie. Shadow roll for LCL.
Alsace, and then nothing for Messiah.
في رحلة مايكل كوستا لم يكن وحيدا في مواجهة التحديات، بل كان محاطا بعائلة تؤمن به، ووالدين قدما له الحب والدعم منذ خطواته الأولى. مع كل سباق وكل عقبة كانت زوجته بجواره تقف معه يدا بيد، تسانده بقوة ووفاء.
Well, I've got a number of people, like my mum and dad, for starting. They were, a little bit nervous for myself going out to training, but they were always there to support me in every way they could. And then I was lucky enough to meet my wife as well, and she was, she was a huge help in that. We'd go to track work in the morning. The stage where we were up to 20 horses, we had no staff. I'd go out and ride out. She'd help do the boxes and do the cleaning, the washing down of the horses, and then she'd go shower and then go off to her day job to then come back and help in the afternoon as well. So her support was a huge help. Then from the industry as well, which from our very first owner, who was still still an owner from when we left for Dubai, that continued to support us, and all the owners. We ended up having close to 1,000 owners on our books before I left for Dubai, and they were all, I swore that I had the greatest owners in Australia for their love for our business in Australia.
برنامج الحظيرة في موسمه الثاني توثيق لرياضة الصيد بالصقور والعالم الساحر لهذه الرياضة التراثية، مواكبة لأبرز سباقات الصقور وصورة حية لأقوى المنافسات، لقاءات حصرية مع أبطال الموسم، وزيارات خاصة لأبرز المحميات الطبيعية التي ساهمت في الحفاظ على السلالات النادرة للصقور، ومحطات خاصة مع أهم البرامج العالمية لدولة الإمارات والهادفة إلى الحفاظ على الصقور وحمايتها من الانقراض. برنامج الحظيرة على قناة ياس. الشراع الدولية لقفز الحواجز على قناة ياس. جسر من جسور الخير يمتد من الإمارات إلى العالم. حدث عالمي يحمل رسالة حب وسلام. سباق يربط القلوب بروح التعاون. ماراثون يحمل في طياته الخير والعطاء. سباق زايد الخيري على أبو ظبي الرياضية. أصحاب المهارات في تحد جديد. منافسات مختلفة بين عقليات إماراتية مبدعة. مهارات تتحدى الزمن في مجالات عديدة. أياد تعمل وعقول تفكر لترسم لوحة من الإبداع والابتكار في مسرح البرنامج بمهرجان الشيخ زايد. أسئلة ومعلومات في مجالات علمية وعملية مختلفة. كل هذا وأكثر على مسرح سكيلز. برنامج سكيلز يأتيكم في الأوقات التالية.
عندما شعر مايكل كوستا أنه حقق حلمه بإنشاء اسطبل زاخر ب120 جوادا، ظن لوهلة أنه بلغ قمة الطموح، لكن الأقدار كانت تخبئ له حلما أكبر وأفقا أرحب في دولة الإمارات، وتحديدا في مدينة دبي، حيث الرفعة والطموح بلا حدود. وبدعوة من اسطبلات جبل علي شرعت أمامه أبواب المنافسة العالمية لينطلق من بلده الأم أستراليا إلى دبي محمولا بشغف خالص وعزيمة لا تلين.
Life was going as normal in Australia, and just one Tuesday evening I received a phone call from a UAE number, and exploring the idea if I'd look at coming over. And initially, we had a very good life in Australia. We lived in the Gold Coast. We had a very successful business and plenty of winners, and kids were happy. So it was a tough decision, but we came over and we had a look. And once I met the management and looked at the whole stable and had an understanding of His Highness's, not only the opportunity, but His Highness's character and how much of just a gentleman he is, how generous he is with his whole operation, and meeting the management, Mohammed Al Shahir, and the whole team underneath, I knew that it was the right decision to make, to come here and to take on the challenge. Yeah, it was tough. It was a big closing down, as we had over 1,000 owners. So we could have sold the business, but I decided to open the horses up to a voting process and give all the trainers, all the owners, the opportunity to vote where they wanted their horses to go. So doing that with over 120 horses was a large exercise, and I left a lot of money on the table, but I felt that was the best. My owners were so dedicated to me. I wanted to make sure we did the best thing we could possible for those owners and placing their horses moving forward. So a very large operation before we got here, and we got here a little bit later in the first season I would have liked to, but it was important that we wound up the business in Australia the right way.
في تلك اللحظة كان يعلم أن ما بدأه كحلم صغير في اسطبله الخاص سيتحول هنا إلى رحلة في عالم المنافسات الكبرى، في عاصمة تتسع لأحلامه وترسم له دربا جديدا نحو النجاح العالمي.
We didn't really know what to expect around Dubai itself, because I'd never been here, and it was only things that we got to read or watching YouTube and those sorts of things about snippets. But it's been so much more for my family now that we do a lot of travel around the world, especially I go to the sales and things like that. I realised two things: how beautiful of a country Australia is, and how remarkable, beautiful Dubai is. We just love coming back here. You can feel the safety. Our kids go to extremely good schools. They're getting a great education. We had my youngest daughter here in a hospital, which was, just been a fantastic experience. So it's just got it all, and we wouldn't have come if we didn't think that it wasn't such a great country. It's been so great to us.
عندما خطى مايكل كوستا أول خطواته في اسطبلات جبل علي كان أمامه تحد كبير، وهو أن يعيد الثقة إلى فريق عانى من غياب الانتصارات لفترة. كان هدفه واضحا ورؤيته عميقة، فهو يدرك أن القوة الحقيقية لأي فريق تبدأ من الإيمان بالقدرة على النجاح. ومن هنا بدأ كوستا ببث روح جديدة بين أفراد فريقه، ملهما إياهم بروح العزيمة.
There was a lot of different variables with getting horses fit into Dubai compared to Australia, but the main focus was just building the staff's confidence again. With the stable not going so well, everyone was a little bit down and out. So it was about building the staff's confidence, getting them to believe in what they were doing, and getting them to believe in that we need to get the greatest out of every horse, and in order to do that we need to get the greatest out of every staff member. So that was the main focus, and all the other things that we implemented were just doing all the basics extremely well, getting the best feed, getting the best hay, getting the greatest of all those the basics, and then letting everything fall into place and building on systems with the staff. And I was very lucky that we had a great band of staff. They all welcomed me with open arms. There was no sort of hesitation in them implementing my new approaches, and it was a great help. I can remember our first race day here at Jebel Ali. I was a little bit nervous because it's the first race meeting, but we managed to win. We won 2 races. I think we were unlucky not to win 3. And coming back into the stable that evening, the staff were all there clapping, and it was you could see after that first meeting that we were on the right direction straight away.
برنامج الحظيرة في موسمه الثاني توثيق لرياضة الصيد بالصقور والعالم الساحر لهذه الرياضة التراثية، مواكبة لأبرز سباقات الصقور وصورة حية لأقوى المنافسات، لقاءات حصرية مع أبطال الموسم، وزيارات خاصة لأبرز المحميات الطبيعية التي ساهمت في الحفاظ على السلالات النادرة للصقور، ومحطات خاصة مع أهم البرامج العالمية لدولة الإمارات والهادفة إلى الحفاظ على الصقور وحمايتها من الانقراض. برنامج الحظيرة على قناة ياس.
كأس الشيخ محمد بن منصور بن زايد آل نهيان للاسطبلات الخاصة 100 كيلومتر على أبو ظبي الرياضية. بطولة كأس رئيس الدولة للصيد بالصقور على قناة ياس.
مع بدء موسم جديد من السباقات في دبي، يدخل مايكل كوستا المنافسة باندفاع ملهم، متحديا أسماء لامعة من كبار المدربين العالميين باستراتيجية جريئة، متفائلا بمجموعة جديدة من الخيول الصغيرة التي انضمت إلى الاسطبل.
يطارد يطارد ناموس لسمو الشيخ احمد بن راشد ال مكتوم والمدرب مايكل كوستا
متصدر في موسم الامارات 2024.
مدرب مايكل كوستا المدرب المتميز من خلال الموسم الماضي
الخطير والمثير الى خط النهايه.
مبروك ايضا المدرب مايكل كوستا
ويصل بالتالي الى خط النهايه وباشراف مايكل كوستا نهاش بطلا.
خيول كوستا السنه هذه في الفورمه،
وتواجد ايضا المدرب مايكل كوستا
جاهز بشكل كبير جدا
على السبرنت هانديكاب سبيكس. انه ثوبان
الشعر الاصفر بكامل جاهزيته، اشراف المدرب مايكل كوستا.
اللون الاصفر الذي يتسيد المشهد.
مدرب من العيار الثقيل، اضافي كبير الى موسمنا.
فوز من جمله 6 سباقات 5 انتصارات مايكل كوستا.
Yeah, it was a great season. It was only our second season, or my second season here in Dubai. And the first season was about just settling in and figuring out what horses we had. And we roughly had about 30 horses in the first season. And there's no hiding that the stable wasn't up to anyone's expectations. So it was about sifting through the first season. And within the second season, we managed to really strive forward. We just got beaten by one in the premiership by Zabil, and it was a great effort considering that our stable only had half the amount of runners as the largest stable. So statistically it was a very strong season, and we've built really well in the summer for an even stronger season this year. Yeah, strong competition. Bupat's Zabil's been a strong stable in Dubai for many decades. So to compete with Zabil just within our second season of rebuilding was a great accomplishment. But Bupat's obviously a great trainer. I've had a little bit to do with him now, and the way he got his horses to peak on World Cup night was a great effort by him and his team. So to go head and head with Zabil, we're looking forward to it this season as well. Yeah, last season we ran roughly about 60 horses, so we built this year to about 80, which is good. And our approach is more buying yearlings, so younger horses, rather than a lot of the other stables in Dubai will buy form horses, breeze up horses, but His Highness really likes to prepare young horses and develop them. It's been a successful approach for us already, and we purchased 13 yearlings last year and 3 breeze up horses, so we've got 16 young 2-year-olds, well, now very close to becoming 3-year-olds, which are looking to be the strong presence for our stable moving forward this year.
من الصباح الباكر ينشغل كوستا بالإشراف على استعدادات كل حصان، مدققا في أدق التفاصيل من التغذية إلى التمرينات لضمان إعداد متكامل.
Good. It's not as easy as that. In my mind, I'd like to think so, but we'll be doing the same as last season, turning every horse out the best way we can, getting the greatest out of every horse, and then the results will take care of themselves. Look, we utilise the hill for training, so horses get quite used to it. We're not on the hill every morning. The training approach here is really doing something different every day. But like yourself running on the treadmill, once you put that incline on, you can definitely feel the burn. But it's an advantage as well to use that hill. We don't have to go as quick to get a little bit more out of the workout, which is a huge advantage in getting our horses to recover and have longevity for the season. I've only been in Dubai for the 2 seasons, but we've definitely, and even looking at the results of the last decade, Dubai and the whole UAE is becoming a more competitive racing scene every year. So we've just got to keep on improving, and I think that we're going to have some really competitive competition, and it'll be good to see some locals win on the big night again.
ومع اقتراب لحظة الانطلاقة ينظر كوستا إلى كل تحد بعين الطموح، متطلعا لتحقيق إنجازات متجددة تعزز مكانته في قلب مشهد السباقات العالمية بدبي.